Hello, good evening, everyone. You're all welcome to today's session on SWOT analysis. I can see my very good friend, Alawa is here, Manny Green is here, Sunday, John Paul. You're all welcome. This is going to be a long stretch, but in the end, I promise that it's going to be worth it. So from personal experience, I have noticed that a lot of people don't really understand what SWOT means. Beyond the 2x2 matrix that can easily be downloaded on the internet, a lot of us don't really know how to apply SWOT to our lives, how to use SWOT to create a direction for ourselves. And seeing that a lot around our personal development rises and falls on SWOT analysis, I figured it's a good place to start to help give young people direction on self-discovery, personal branding, and career development. And that's what we are going to do today. So I hope you have your writing pads around. You would be doing quite a lot of writing, probably acting as we proceed. I think it's best that way. One of the trick about classes like this is that you learn to personalize everything that is said or everything that is done. That way you're able to get clarity easier. So what is SWOT? SWOT analysis is simply a tool that allows young people to not necessarily young people, it allows people to use the tool to evaluate their strengths. Excuse me. Okay, so SWOT. SWOT analysis is simply a strategic tool that allows you to measure your areas of advantage, disadvantage, and opportunities you can grab, and threats you can also avoid or mitigate, as the case may be. SWOT analysis has been here for so long, and while a lot of us ignore or do not know about it, it's almost always been here. We use SWOT analysis in our business plans. Many of us just lift from wherever we find it and put that on our page, somewhere in between our business plans. And the idea is that we know the SWOT of our business. Some of us do not even know what it means. We just put it there. Now, SWOT as a strategic planning tool is not just for businesses. It's for individuals, it's for career planning, it's for self-discovery, it's for personal branding. It cuts across almost every part of our daily activities. You can use SWOT analysis when you're planning the business. You can use SWOT analysis when you're planning an event. You can use SWOT analysis before or after the event to measure your success and your failures. You can use SWOT analysis to prep yourself for a career journey. You can use SWOT analysis to plan a personal brand journey. And that's basically what we want to learn today. It's a framework that allows you to measure internal factors and external factors that can affect your growth as a person. The purpose of SWOT is to serve as a strategic tool. It's basically to help us, like I said, gauge our advantages and disadvantages. It offers a comprehensive view of your current position. So SWOT analysis is like an X-ray. You go through an X-ray machine and then it shows your physique. You're able to see whether bones are broken somewhere, whether a bone is not properly structured or something isn't where it is supposed to be. So liken SWOT analysis to an X-ray machine. What the analysis tool does is to help you see what is happening within you and outside you. And for you to do that, it uses 4 key aspects. SWOT is an acronym, and it represents 4 words that we will deal with in the next 2 or 3 slides. But basically, think of your SWOT as an X-ray machine that helps you to see what is happening inside you and outside you. SWOT analysis is a strategic tool because it helps us to carry out comprehensive assessments of ourselves or whatever it is we want to work on. It helps you to make strategic decisions. It helps you to make strategic decisions. When a doctor has the results of your scan, doctor is able to look at that result and make prescriptions or make diagnosis. The doctor is able to say, as a result of this, as a result of that, we will recommend this or we will recommend that. What your SWOT analysis does is to help you make those quality decisions, because it shows you what you can do and what you cannot do, what works in your advantage and what works against you. And then what is left for you to do is to come up with a solution to help you avert those things that work against you and solution to improve the ones that work for you. SWOT allows you to align your goals. So it is one thing to have a goal. It's another thing to be sure that you have the right equipment, the right tools, the right materials to pursue that goal or to achieve that goal. For example, if I say I want to become an engineer in 5 years, a mechanical engineer in 5 years, my goal is to become an engineer in 5 years. The question is, does my current state align with the goal that I have set or with the goal that I am anticipating? If you're anticipating a goal, then you must have the right tool to be able to achieve that goal. SWOT tells you whether you have the tools or not. Risk mitigation. Because SWOT analysis helps you to analyze your risk, it provides you with an opportunity to avoid that risk or to manage that risk. The same goes for opportunity. Because it allows you to see opportunity, you're able to take advantage of them. You're able to put yourself in a position that you can take advantage of the opportunities that come your way. Most of the things we call luck are not necessarily luck. Some people have prepared for those things. Some people who know their SWOTs, like we say, put your best foot forward. People who know their SWOTs, they have planned, they have prepared, they are anticipating. And when the opportunity comes, they put their best foot forward. And then to the other person who was not prepared, they are lucky. But SWOT helps you to stay prepared. It helps you to anticipate opportunities. It helps you to know how to utilize resources, how to delegate, how to collaborate. SWOT gives you a clearer picture of where you want to go from where you are, what you need to get to where you want to go, how you will get there. SWOT gives you that clarity. SWOT helps you to formulate strategy. When you know your strength, you know your weakness, you know the opportunities you want to take advantage of, the next thing you're able to do is to put up a strategy. And SWOT helps you with that. SWOT helps you to be able to work in a flexible and adaptive state. You're flexible and you're adaptive. Because you know your strengths and you know your weaknesses, whichever environment you find yourself, whatever environment you find yourself, you're able to adapt. You're able to go in and out of situations because you understand your qualities. Communication and alignment. And then, of course, personal development. SWOT is like a foundation that helps you kickstart your journey to personal development. How? When the X-ray provides a result, that result helps the doctor to make clear decisions. A journey begins from the point that the result is out. If the person requires treatment, treatment is activated. If the person requires therapy, therapy is activated. If the person needs to, whatever the person needs, the result of the scan has created a roadmap. SWOT gives you that roadmap to pursue personal development as far and as near as you want to pursue it. So let's look at what SWOT really means. What does SWOT really mean? So SWOT is an acronym for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So we are going to unbundle this and see what each one means, how we can identify them, and what they necessarily do for us. Strength. Strength is internal. So your SWOT analysis is divided into a 2x2 matrix. So it is a square with 2 boxes up, 2 boxes down. The 2 boxes up represents strengths. The one to the left represents strengths, and that's what we are dealing with now. So strength in this case refers to anything you can do effortlessly. Anything that gives you an advantage, gives you an edge, gives you leverage, anything that makes you outstanding, anything that makes you better is a strength. If 5 persons go for an interview and you're part of the 5, and you were picked because you have certain skills that the others do not have, or you exhibited certain talents or qualities that the others did not exhibit, those things that gave you that advantage are your strengths. And the strength is internal. It is positive and it's internal. Strength can be talent, it can be skills. You may have been born with them or you acquired them. Now, inherent capabilities, that is talents, for some people, it is talents. For other people, it is acquired skill. For example, some people were born with the ability to easily grab certain things. For example, the person sees a music video and 5 minutes after, they're dancing all the steps like they rehearsed with the people in the video. But in my case, I have to go pay a dance instructor to teach me how to dance. But for this other person, dancing comes effortlessly. They don't necessarily need to go and learn. It's a part of them, it's just there. Now, for those people, for both of them, it is strength. But for one person, it was inherent. For the other person, it was acquired. But for both cases, it is strength. So at this point, while we're doing this, I need you to start asking yourself, what are those things that come natural to you? What are those things that come that you can do effortlessly? What are those things that you consider a competitive advantage over other people? What are those things that, if you have to talk about yourself, they are one of the first things you want to mention? So you do that on the side, and then let's look at examples of personal strengths. There are many, many personal strengths, countless personal strengths, but this is just to give us an idea. Effective communication is a strength. Leadership abilities, problem-solving skills, creativity and innovation, adaptability, time management, teamwork, and collaboration. Now, all of these things, for some people, they are inherent. For other people, they are acquired. Either way, these are examples of personal strength. These things can be the reason why you got a position and not the other person. One or more of these skills could be the reason why you were preferred over somebody else. Strengths. Strengths are positive. They are internal, and they are anything that gives you advantage over somebody else. Identifying and leveraging strengths. Now, I think this is where your assessment starts. Identifying and leveraging strengths. So if you have to write, I think we are there now. Number one, for you to be able to identify and leverage strengths, you need to carry out a self-assessment first. Evaluate yourself. You need to evaluate yourself. Evaluating yourself means carrying out an internal audit. And the first rule about self-assessment is honesty. You need to be honest with yourself. You need to be realistic with yourself. Otherwise, it will affect the results you get. So the first thing you do is self-assessment. Assess the skills, talents that you know you have, those things that come to you naturally. The second is to outline those talents, whether they are hard skills or soft skills. Outline them, just write them out. If you're not entirely sure about what your strength is, you can seek feedback from family and friends, associates. Sometimes there are traits, there are qualities we exhibit without paying attention to them. For example, amongst your friends, you have that one friend that is always eager to do the planning. For them, it doesn't really mean anything. They don't even consider it a skill. They just like to plan. They just like to make sure everything goes according to order. Even when they don't want to, they just absent-mindedly find themselves planning. And if you ask them to write their strengths, they may not write planning, strategic planning, or effective planning. They may not write that because it didn't come to them as one of those things that they will consider strengths. So if you're not very sure of your skills and abilities, it is okay to talk to family and friends. It is okay to talk to associates, colleagues. Ask them, what do you think I do that is very good? What would you consider my strengths? And then you'll be amazed at the kind of remarks that you would get. So that we've looked at 3. 4, consider accomplishments. One of the ways to also identify and leverage your strength is to look back to things you have achieved. What did you do to achieve those things? How did you do what you did to achieve those things? In your course of reviewing that, you would see that there were certain skills you applied to get those achievements. Write them down. They are part of things that make up your strengths. Another thing to also do is to look at peak moments that may have happened in your life, factors that led to positive experiences. You were involved in a project, the project was successful. Yes, what did you do? What was your role that led to that success? What role did you play? If you analyze those kind of events, you would see that there were critical roles you played, even though they may not be seemingly loud, but there were roles you played that contributed to that success. Those things you did can count for your strengths. Next is to prioritize and categorize. So you have all of these strengths, several strengths, but all of your strengths do not do the same thing. So categorize those strengths. For example, you have strengths for office use. You have another strength for home use, for instance. You have strength for outdoor activities. You have strength that is useful for indoor activities. Categorize your strengths according to their relevance. What can each of these strengths do in line with your goals and aspiration? For example, I want to become a photographer. Do I have any strength now that would contribute to me becoming a good photographer? If yes, I put that on one hand. The other strengths that I have may not be relevant to this particular goal, but they are strengths and would be relevant to something else. So I put them on another space. Now, identify key areas where each of your strengths is useful. After categorizing them, identify key areas where each of these strengths is relevant. The relevance of the strengths is what gives it value. If you have strength that you don't know what it is used for, you're likely not going to exploit it. Leverage your strengths. So once you have identified the strengths you have, the next thing you need to do is look for opportunities that can allow you use that strength. Strengths are like muscles. You know, when you go to the gym, you work out. The more you work out, the more you strengthen the muscles. So once you identify your strengths, you need to leverage those strengths by using them. Look for opportunities that would allow you use those strengths. The more you use them, the better you become at those strengths. For example, we advise people that are fresh graduates to look for internship positions, to apply for volunteering roles so that they can sharpen their skills. Either they have the skills, they want to sharpen them, or they use those platforms to acquire new skills. It is the same thing with leveraging your strengths. Continuous improvement. Once you have identified your strengths, you need to invest in it, improve it. You either invest in it by learning new things and improved ways to use it, or you invest in it by using it. The more you use it, the more refined it gets. If you learn a digital skill, for instance, and you don't apply it, in a space of 3 months, give or take, you would forget most of the things you were taught. But the more you apply that skill, the more refined the skill gets. And the more refined the skill gets, the more enhanced you get. Set smart goals. Identifying your strength is one thing. Leveraging your strength is another thing. But setting smart goals, it's something you cannot run away from. You need to set goals that are in line with your strengths. We will get to goals much later. You need to learn how to communicate your strengths. So once you identify your strengths and you have leveraged that strength, you use your strengths to highlight your value proposition. Everybody has value proposition. And your strengths allows you to project that value. Now, I will stress a little on this point. Imagine going to school to study a course that you have no likeness, no prior understanding for. It was just given to you. Now, for one of many reasons, you were not able to adjust into the course. And so you graduated not very well, but again, not loving what you studied. Now, if you have to highlight what you have studied by way of value, you will struggle, right? You will struggle because it is not a strong suit for you. The reason why you need to communicate your strengths is because the people that want to do business with you, the people that want to be attracted to you, they want to be able to see how your strengths is a solution for them. They want to see how your strengths solves a problem for them. So under personal branding, we would again visit value proposition. Stay mindful. So you have identified your strengths, you're leveraging your strengths. You need to regularly remind yourself of your strengths and how they contribute to your achievements. If you do not know how your strengths contribute to your advancements, you will abuse it. You wouldn't know when and where you need to improve on it. So it's important to regularly check your strengths and see if you need to improve them. You need to regularly check and see how they are affecting your life positively. They must affect you positively. If not, they are not strengths. Weaknesses. Weaknesses are also internal, but they are the opposite of your strengths. They hinder or limit you from performance, growth, or potential. Weaknesses basically mean gaps, lack, limitations, things that prevent you from reaching your desired goal or achieving your desired goal, as the case may be. Examples of personal weaknesses like strengths, there are lots of them, but we've just picked a few. So procrastination is a personal weakness for a lot of people. While they assume that it's not an issue. When they move on in life, they will improve. These things have a way of sticking. If you can't change it now, you may not be able to change it later. So procrastination, lack of confidence, poor time management, difficulty delegating, impatience, weakness in public speaking, lack of technical skills. All these are forms of personal weaknesses. I'm sure a few of us here have one or more of these examples as personal weaknesses. But the good news is we can all improve. Strategies to overcome personal weaknesses. Number one is self-awareness and acceptance. There is a saying that the worst kind of deception is self-deception. So if you deceive yourself or deny yourself the fact that you have a weakness, you may not be able to overcome that weakness. So self-awareness and acceptance means that you identify the fact that you have a weakness. You know that you have a weakness. You have identified it. You have written it down that this is a weakness for you. The next thing is to find opportunities that will overturn that weakness. Opportunities by way of learning. So if I have problem with time management, it's only proper that I would look for learning opportunities to be better equipped to manage time. We need to learn how to constantly practice, repeat what you have practiced, keep doing it. Some people call it wash, rinse, dry, wash, rinse, dry. Consistent effort leads to improvement of personality. Consistent efforts will lead to improvement and possibly conversion. So if you constantly work on your weakness, two things will happen. Either that weakness will convert to strength or you will suppress it to its barest minimum. The next is to set small goals. Now, some of us are not very good at breaking down our goals. We just set one big goal and that is the goal. For example, somebody says, I want to buy a car by December this year. Or the person makes it ambiguous. I want to buy a car by the end of this year. No specific month. Let's say the cost of the car is 5 million naira. 5 million naira with the remaining months of this year, you would probably divide that into 4. So you have 1 million naira and some fraction to raise per month. But you see, this person is not breaking the goal into small bits so that they can solve it weekly or monthly. This person is waiting for one big break so that 5 million will just come and then the person buys a car. Such kind of planning is not effective and it is a weakness. So a strategy to overcome that kind of planning is to set small goals. After you have set the big goal, set small goals that will help you achieve the big goal. Seek feedback. You have weaknesses, yes. So talk to people. Ask people what they think about your weaknesses. Ask them how your weaknesses reflect on them. For example, colleagues, how does my procrastination affect teamwork? How does my late coming affect our team? If we have to do rotations to do presentation and I have poor presentation skill, how does it affect the team? How does it affect you? Seek other people's opinion. Use the insights from the feedback they will give you to identify areas that you need to improve. Remember, the essence of this is to overcome personal weaknesses. So any opportunity to help you identify your weak spots is a good thing, because then you will now know how to improve on it. Positive affirmations is key in overturning weaknesses. You need to purge yourself of negative self-proclamation. A lot of us just throw words around. We just feel they don't mean anything. I just said it now, I don't mean it. Well, words have power, and words always mean something. If you keep saying negative things to yourself, they have a way of affecting your mindset. Psychologically, they can affect you. And so if you begin to speak positively to yourself while you're trying to overturn weaknesses to strengths, it has a way of revitalizing your person. Positive affirmations. A lot of us have not tried anything new because we are scared of failing. But failure isn't in itself a bad thing. Failure is an opportunity to learn a different way of doing something you didn't get right the first time. So don't be scared to fail. Failing is not a weakness. It is the opposite that is a weakness. Your fear to not fail is a weakness. Your fear to not fail is a weakness. But failing in itself is not a weakness. It is a way to learn. Other strategies to overcome personal weakness include mentorship and guidance, collaboration and delegation. Now, on collaboration and delegation, once you have identified your weakness, you know things that you can't do very well. There is no point trying to outwork yourself. So, wisdom is profitable to direct. Because you know your strengths, maybe your strength is even delegation, effective delegation. So, when you are given responsibilities that are not favoring your strong suit, you have people in your team or people you work with by way of collaboration who have the strength to fix that problem. Be open to delegation, be open to collaboration. One of the benefits of collaborating is that you don't need to know everything to succeed. You collaborate with other people who know bits of what you do not know, and together, all of you can achieve what you want to achieve. Seek role models. So role models should be people who are thriving in areas where you have a weakness. And your aspiration is to thrive in the same areas. And so you're making them role models so you can learn how they were able to either overcome their own weaknesses, convert them to strengths, or how that thing they are doing as a strength can be transferred. How can you learn to do it their own way? Is there a strategy? Is there a secret you need to learn to be able to do what they do? That's basically what you want to learn. Mindset shifts is a very good strategy to overcome personal weakness, and it's in collaboration with the positive affirmation. So we don't hit that on that for too long. Celebrate progress, time management strategies. These are other areas of personal weaknesses, strategies to overcome personal weaknesses. Opportunities. Now we have looked at two areas of the SWOT. We have looked at strengths and we have looked at weaknesses. Strengths and weaknesses are both internal factors of the SWOT matrix. What that means is that you don't need to be influenced externally to increase strength or reduce weakness. They are internal, which means that the decision to increase your weaknesses or reduce them is entirely up to you. It's entirely up to you to increase or reduce, improve or suppress. It's entirely up to you. That's why we say they are internal. External factors do not play a major role in your decision to overturn a weakness for strength. Okay, so let's talk about opportunities. Opportunities are external, but they are positive. Opportunities are factors or circumstances that can be exploited. So opportunities are out there. They don't change. They are just there. It is in your position to take advantage of them. They will not influence you. Opportunities will not come and knock your door. Even the proverbial opportunity knocking your door means that you are prepared. And the only way you will know that it is an opportunity is if you have the right strength to take advantage of the opportunity. The more strength you have, the more opportunities you can see. The more strength you have, the more opportunities that are available to you. The more weaknesses you have, the less opportunities that are available to you. So, opportunities are external and they are positive. They are just there. They could be market conditions, they could be demand, they could be connection waiting to be taken advantage of. They could be a lot. For example, the flood, this is August, the signs of the flood in Bayelsa, it's already everywhere. So by September, October, thereabout, the flood will begin to do its thing around, in and around Bayelsa, Rivers State, Delta States, Edo State. All of these areas will experience the flood. For someone who has particular kind of strengths, while some people are lamenting about the flood, for some people, the flood is an opportunity to make money. It's an opportunity to do something. It's an opportunity they need to take advantage of. It looked like an opportunity to them because they have specific strengths that align with that opportunity. So the strength you have per time is the strength that allows you to see opportunity. Sometimes, some people go to a particular environment and they say business does not work in that environment. Things are bad in that environment. Somebody else go to that same environment and the person is making sales. The strength this person has allows him or her to see more opportunities than the other person. So the point is, the more strength you have, the more opportunity you can see, the more opportunities you can take advantage of. The higher your weaknesses, the less opportunities you can take advantage of. Identifying external opportunities for growth. Identifying external opportunities for growth. The first thing to do in order to identify opportunities is to keep yourself informed about industry trends. If you have a particular industry you're interested in, you have a particular market or industry sector that you're focused on, in line with your goals, in line with your aspirations, in line with your skills, the first thing you need to do is to stay informed about that industry. Yesterday, I gave a talk somewhere and I said, people are ignorantly saying that AI is taking over their jobs. And everybody say, yes, AI is taking over our jobs. Yes, it's true, AI is taking our jobs. And I said, no, AI is not taking your job. If anything, AI is collaborating with you to make your job easier. But because you have technology and innovation as a weakness, you are not seeing the opportunities that AI is presenting you in your sector. The AI is not doing anything by itself. It is somebody that will still operate the AI. So what some companies are doing now, they're looking for people who have learned how to use the AI, and they're employing them to use the AI for them. Not that the AI took the job away. No, the AI is collaborating with you. For example, you go to some organizations, they don't have the title accountant anymore. The title has evolved to something else. Maybe financial controller, financial analysts, something else, but not accountants. And because you are not informed about industry trends for your sector, you are not aware that the title changed. And so everywhere you see financial controller, you assume that it is not for you. You moved on. You're waiting for the one that they have accountants boldly written. Environmental scan. You need to stay ahead of your industry. You need to stay informed about your industry. Otherwise, opportunities will pass you by. The opportunities will pass you by primarily because you do not have the necessary strength to recognize them. Strength and opportunity goes hand in hand. Number two, market analysis. So it depends on what you're doing. It depends on what you want to do. Study your target market. Study your target sector. Study your target company. If you study it long enough, you will notice that there are gaps. Those gaps are demands, wants. Those gaps are what you want to fill. We have people who are self-employed on this platform now. We have people that are also entrepreneurs. So I'll just explain that a bit. Where SWOT analysis plays one of the major roles for businesses is that you use your strength to identify opportunities in your markets. You do that by studying the market, studying other people that are doing what you do. If you study their value chain, you will notice that there are gaps. If you study their business model, you will notice that there are gaps or there are things that can be improved on. And when your own business decides to present your value, you're presenting your value, making sure that you're covering those gaps. That gap is a market. That gap may be why a customer will leave the other person and buy from you. For example, when people buy from A does not do personal delivery. You are now coming up to sell the same thing and you're saying, if you buy 3, we will deliver to you for free. And because you will deliver for free, that is enough for some people to say, let me buy there so they deliver for me. It's cheaper. SWOT analysis. Align opportunities to your strengths. I've just said that. Your strengths work in line with the opportunities. So pick the strengths on your SWOT analysis matrix. Pick the opportunity. Marry them together. As a matter of fact, on the SWOT analysis, the opportunity is beneath the strengths. So you have SO vertically, and then you have these other ones vertically. You have S and W horizontally. So it's a square, 4 boxes in a square. Next is networking. Networking. Use your strengths to build connections within your industry and related fields. By networking, your strength allows you to see opportunities. If you do not network, you're likely to miss out on opportunities. Even when they present themselves, you may not notice them. Stay up to date with technology, very important. You can barely do anything today and not have some level of advantage in technology. It's not possible. Most of the businesses Most of the skills are now being automated. So learning a digital skill is a strength. And the moment you acquire that strength, you would ordinarily begin to see opportunities that strength can take advantage of. But prior to when you acquired that strength, you were not seeing the opportunities. They've been there. They are always there, but you were not seeing them. Vacancies will come somewhere, people will apply. Maybe people that are even more qualified than you will apply, but you will get it because you have an advantage they don't have, technology skill. And the company needs someone with technology skill. You get the job, irrespective of your degree or your grade. Next is social media and online presence. You need to monitor conversations, especially on platforms like LinkedIn. You need to observe these platforms, understand the new wave of words that are used to represent opportunities. If you go on LinkedIn, some of the names of the positions you see, you get confused. You wonder what the person that would man that office will be doing. But the title of the job is changing over time. The job itself may not change, except that it may have integrated some digital aspects, but the names keep changing. If you're not in tune, if you're not monitoring conversations, you will not know that it is the same name. And then you miss out because you were not informed. Strategies to help you capitalize on opportunities. Strategies to help you capitalize on opportunities. These strategies are self-explanatory. Alignment with your strengths. So you need to align with your strengths. Your strength needs to align with the goal you're aspiring for. You cannot be aspiring to be A and you have skills that are for B. No, that will not work. The opportunities you'll be seeing will not align. The areas where you are aspiring to go are the areas where you should build strengths so that you will see the right opportunities. Prioritization, strategic planning, adaptability, resource allocation, innovation and creativity, market segmentation, partnerships and alliances. Opportunities help you to find partnerships and alliances. Marketing and promotion, engagements, continuous learning, risk assessments, mitigation, long-term vision, monitoring, and measurement. All of these strategies may not apply to everybody at the same time. All of these strategies may not apply to everything you want to do at time. But each of these strategies is relevant at one point or the other when you're strategizing to capitalize on opportunities. Some of the opportunities you would see just needs you to align your strengths. Some you would see just needs you to prioritize. Others may require you to do a bit of partnership and alliances. Some opportunity requires you to learn continuously. Different things will work at different points. The last part of the matrix, threat. Threat is also external, and like weakness, it is negative. So strength is positive and internal. Opportunities is positive but external. Weaknesses are negative but internal. Threats are external, yet they are negative. So threats are challenges that can potentially stop you from progressing. They can stop you from being the best part of yourself. And some very basic threats include competition, economic downturn, changing market dynamics. The naira is below the dollar. It's an external threat. The position of the naira is affecting the economy and somehow it's affecting you. It's an external threat. Can you change the threat? No. Can you avoid it? Yes. Can you manage it? Yes. Can you change it? No. The threat is like opportunities. They are external. You cannot change them. You anticipate for them, you manage them, you reduce them. That's for threat now, but you cannot eliminate them. They are there. They are forces that are just there. They are almost constant. And so in your planning, you must always create room to manage threats, to anticipate threats, to have a counter plan. If plan A doesn't work, I will use plan B. You cannot completely eliminate threats. So the question is, what is threats for you? Regulatory changes in your business is a threat. When the government wants to do it, they will not seek your permission, they will just do it. Economic factors are threats. Technological disruptions are threats to some people. For example, the AI thing is a threat to some people. But the moment they acquire the right strength, they will no longer see AI as a threat. So they will not see this particular technological disruption as a threat because they have acquired the right strength that has now turned that threat to an opportunity. So they begin to see how they can collaborate with it. For example, prior to this time, you would write 2 or 3 articles in a day. But with AI like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and all the rest of them, you can write up to 50 articles per day. So how is the AI taking your job? The AI is aiding you to do more, faster, efficiently, effectively, reducing your typo errors, reducing your grammatical errors. In fact, the AI is a collaborator, is your partner. But because you do not have the right strengths, you don't see it as an opportunity, you see it as a threat. So for every goal you want to achieve, there is a corresponding strength you need to acquire if you do not have it. And once you have the right strength, you will begin to see the opportunities as they are. The more strength you have, the less weaknesses you have. The less weaknesses you have, the less strength you have. Reputation and public relations. You and I can do little or nothing about people's opinion when they choose to want to have an opinion. We are all on social media and we see how people put their opinions out every day. And then when push comes to shove, celebrities and public figures are forced to put out a public statement by way of correcting the impression, by way of trying to manage the damage that is happening to their reputation. Can you stop people from talking? No, you can't. But what can you do? You can anticipate that people will talk. And so when people talk, do you have the right information to put out there? Do you have a content to counter what people will talk about? If yes, that is what you are supposed to do, mitigation. So you have put in measures to manage the threat when it comes. In cases where you don't want to manage it, you can avoid it. So what are those things that I need to avoid to help eliminate such kind of reputation damage? You avoid them. Developing strategies to mitigate threats. Developing strategies to mitigate threats. Number one is to identify the threat itself. When you identify the threats, you assess the potential impacts that threat would have if it happens. Now, based on the impacts, you prioritize the threats. Brainstorm with your team if you have a team. If not, brainstorm. Research possible best practices. This threat I am anticipating, has it happened before? If yes, how was it managed? Should this threat happen to me, what will I do? So people are scared that AI will take their job. The question is AI taking anybody's job? If yes, what was it AI was doing or started doing that the other person was not doing? What is AI doing that made the other person irrelevant? Once you know that answer, you develop your action plan. Your action plan is to learn to do that thing that AI wants to do so that you don't lose your job. And then you monitor and you review. Make sure that the plan you have developed is effective or can be effective. So you monitor it, you review it. No plan is entirely foolproof or permanent. There is always room to improve. Diversification, contingency planning, have a plan B. Building resilience. Don't give up easily because something went bad. Risk transfer. One of the best strategies about mitigating threats is to find ways to share the risk. For example, buying an insurance or assurance is you transferring your risk to somebody else. Technology and innovation, regulatory compliance, crisis communication plan, cross-functional collaboration. We have all seen from time to time that many people do not have an effective communication plan when there is crisis, both for personal brand and for corporate brand. And so everybody has an opinion for a while before an effective plan, a communication plan or communication front is put up. Within which time that thing has gone viral, different opinions have come in, and even when you come up with the right communication, people already have an opinion. Key takeaway. Key takeaway. How to apply SWOT analysis. If you have questions, by the way, if you have questions, you can just type your questions on the group while the process is ongoing. So when we go back to answer those questions, it's easier. So if you have questions, there are areas you're not clear, just leave your questions on the platform, and then we will go back and attend to them. Thank you. So the first step to applying SWOT analysis, first is to discover your strengths. The first way to apply SWOT analysis is to discover your strengths. Identify your unique skills, talents, and qualities that set you apart. Recognize what you excel at and how you can leverage those strengths. Use those strengths to boost your confidence and enhance your performance. Discover your strengths. So this is an exercise. You can do it alongside now, or you can just do later. Discover your strengths. Number 2, identify your weaknesses. Reflect on areas where you feel less confident or capable. Acknowledge any skills or qualities you would like to improve. I'm not a good public speaker. That is a weakness. I want to improve on it. I am not very effective with time management. That's a weakness. I want to improve on it. So identify the areas where you have weaknesses. Given that we are in a digital age, you shouldn't have digital illiteracy as a weakness. Unfortunately, we have people that still do, but it shouldn't be a weakness by now, because we all know that there is hardly any part of our daily life now that does not come in contact with technology, hardly. So now you have identified your weaknesses, you have acknowledged the skills you need to develop. Beside each weakness, you can write the corresponding strengths that you need to acquire. So you're not a computer literate, or you're not digital skills inclined. Beside it, you would look for the corresponding skill. Especially if you're already in a career, look for the digital skills that are in line with the career that you're already pursuing, and then develop those skills. That's just one example. It's not enough to just develop skills. You have to develop skills that are relevant to you. So if you develop a strength that is not relevant to you because of the goal you are aspiring for, then it is a waste. So you need to pick strengths. You need to acquire strengths that would enhance your position. So they make you better. They make you indispensable where you are. They make you relevant where you are. If you have skills that do not add to your personality, do not add to your value, do not add to your worth, then you have the wrong skill or the wrong strength. So finally on this, develop a plan, which is what I've been saying. Develop a plan to address your weaknesses through learning, practice, or seeking assistance. Learning, practice, or seeking assistance. Explore opportunities. Explore external possibilities that align with your interests and strengths. So like I said before, the moment you have the right strengths, it's like taking off something that was blocking your sight. Suddenly you begin to see opportunities. They have always been there. But if you don't have the skill or strength that opportunity requires, you would not notice that the opportunity is there. Consider new roles, projects, or experiences that can help advance your personal growth. As you acquire skills, look for responsibilities, look for activities, look for roles that would help you put that strength to use. If you're not putting it into use, it will not advance your personal growth. So you need to put it into use. By using it, you improve. Network and connect with people who can offer you opportunities for development. So network with people who can create a platform that will allow you to exercise or express that strength you have. Let's say, for instance, you are a medical doctor, but you're always hanging around accountants. Is that a right network? Unless you're looking to transition from medicine to accounts, then how does connecting with the accountants offer you opportunities for development. So if the skills you have are not skills that is required in the accounting space, then you're hanging out with the wrong person. You're networking with the wrong person. You need to network with people that give you opportunities to advance your skill, opportunities to use your strengths. Mitigate threats. So identify potential obstacles that could hinder your growth. Identify them. What are the things that can prevent me from achieving my goal? What are the things that I do not have control over them? They can just happen any day. When you outline them, what can I do to avoid them? That becomes the solution. Number 2, be aware of negative influences that can affect your progress. We all know that. So avoid situations or influences that would not help you achieve your goal. Develop strategies to overcome threats to your personal development. You can only develop strategies when you have identified the threats. My threat may not be your threat. For some people, location is a threat to their personal growth. For some people, location has no bearing to their personal growth. So our individual threats are different. Then the moment you identify your own threats, you can now develop strategies to overcome your threats. Now, when I say overcome, it's not like the threat will no longer be there, no. But you're finding a way to either avoid it or manage it so that it does not affect you. We don't have any questions so far. So should I take it that everybody is understanding me? Okay. So next, we are looking at linking personal branding to SWOT analysis. How can I link my personal brand to SWOT analysis? How can SWOT analysis help my personal brand? How can SWOT analysis help my personal brand? Number 1, identify your strengths. Number 2, align with personal branding. So define what sets you apart. Now, your personal brand is your unique identification. It's how you want to be perceived. It's how you want to be seen. It's how you want to be accepted. Your personal brand is your business to create however you like. If you want to be accepted as, if you want to be perceived as someone who is upright, someone who is a go-getter, someone who is a leader, someone who can deliver on short notice, all these are traits to a personal brand. So however you want to be perceived, you will define it by yourself. So number 1 is to identify your strengths. Now, the strength, you're identifying it because it is what you would use to promote your personal brand. 2 is to align with your personal brand. So what sets you apart, align it to your personal brand. They must be able to blend. 3, address your weaknesses. And the only way to address your weaknesses is to develop strategies to manage them. You either manage them or you eliminate them as much as you can. Leverage opportunities. The opportunities you want to leverage on are opportunities that look good on your strengths. Opportunities that your strengths can take advantage of. Introduce those opportunities into your branding. People want to see how your strengths positions you to excel. This is primarily for people that are into career development. Mitigate threats. So develop strategies to address those threats. I've said that before. Develop a constant brand image. Develop a consistent brand image. Yesterday, I was talking to someone after I finished speaking at an event, and we're talking about personal branding. And I said that every platform on social media that I have an account, it's the same profile picture that I have. And the person laughed. I said, why? And I said, for easy recognition. I don't want to stress my clients. I don't want to stress my potential clients. I don't want to stress people who are bringing business to me. I don't want them to be confused whether it is him or not. I don't want them thinking it could be, it could not be. And the lady laughed. She said, is that what you call personal branding? I said, it is a part of personal branding. Maintaining consistency across several boards. And she said, that means we have been doing it wrongly, because in fact, even our names are different on different platforms. On one platform, we are answering one name. On another platform, we have heavy makeup on our picture. On the other platform, we don't have makeup. Probably we have gilly. And everybody laughed. But the interesting thing is, as soon as she was done saying it, she brought out her phone and started to change her profile picture across all her platforms. And I said, it's not just your pictures. The value proposition, what you're offering, has to be the same across the board. The identity you want to build must be the same across the board. And Swot has allowed you to now identify your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities. So you're able to replicate the same strengths across the board. You're able to avoid the same weaknesses across the board. You're able to look for the same opportunities across the board. And if there are threats, you're able to avoid the same threats across the board. Your unique value proposition is made up of your strengths and the opportunities you want to take advantage of. So, for example, you see somebody's profile, they say something like, I am a personal brand builder. I help individuals create and build brands that communicates, brands that resonate, brands that do A, B, C, D, or brands that do X, Y, Z. So the man mentions his strengths and then mentions the opportunities out there that his strengths will be able to connect with. So you should be able to marry them together. Your strengths should be able to reflect in the opportunities that you're aspiring for. Aligning career goals with SWOT analysis. Aligning career goals with SWOT analysis. Number one, define your career goals. You're a career person, you're career oriented, you're career focused, and you're wondering how you could align your career goals using SWOT. The first thing you need to do is take a sheet of paper and define your career goals. You need to be specific about the roles, the industry, and the achievements you're aiming for. Of course, you know that beside each role that you're writing, you should have the corresponding strengths. If not, your job is cut out for you then. You now know what you need to do to be able to achieve that role. You write the industry. What is the requirement in that industry? Do you have it as a strength? If no, you need to acquire that strength. Achievements. Whatever you want to achieve, what do you need to achieve it? Do you have it? No. If not, you now know what you need to acquire to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. That's the essence of defining your career goals. When you define it, what you need to do becomes very clear. 2, leverage on your strengths. So identify how your strength can contribute to your career goal. So if you don't have the right strength for the career goal that you are aspiring for, then you need to go and learn it. But if you have it, you need to now look at how your strengths would help you achieve that career goal. Do you have the right strengths? If no, you acquire it. If yes, do I have enough? Do I need to practice? Do I need to improve? So SWOT helps you to make quality decision on career goals. You mitigate weaknesses. This goal that I want to achieve in my career, what are the possible things that would stop me from achieving them? For example, I am a project manager. For me to become a senior project manager, I need to go and do a particular course. So as at this moment, the absence of that course is a weakness for me. So to mitigate my weakness, I would now set out a plan on how to go and take that course. Capitalize on opportunities. Align your career goals with external opportunities in your industry. Like we have said repeatedly, the moment you have the right strengths, you will be in tune to opportunities in your space. Any opportunity you are not seeing is because you do not have the strengths for that opportunity. You may also have the strengths, but you're not using it. Part of it might be you're not networking and connecting enough to see that opportunity or those opportunities. So at every given time, your career goals and the opportunities out there, they need to align. The company where you work, do you see opportunities of you rising from where you are to a bigger position in the next 5 years? If yes, what do you need to do to prepare yourself for that promotion? Do you have the necessary strengths for that position? If no, you start building them. If yes, what do you need to do now to capitalize on that opportunity to go to that office? Given the dynamics in your office, you would be able to come up with a plan on how to get there. Address threats. Develop strategies to address potential threats that could affect your career goal. What are those things that if you get involved in them or if they happen, they can affect your career growth in your office? They can affect you from achieving that promotion that you're looking at in the next 5 years. What are those things? Identify them. Once you identify them, develop a strategy to eliminate, reduce, or suppress them. Strategic planning. You need to outline steps that you need for your career goal. It's not enough that I want to be X in 5 years' time. You need to break down goals into actionable steps. For example, I want to be X in 5 years. The office requires what? Let's assume that I need to take a course and that course is 2 million. So in 5 years, can I raise 2 million before 5 years or before the end of 5 years? Can I raise 2 million to do that course? That's on one hand. I also need to pass the course. What do I need to do to raise the money? How can I raise the money? How much time do I need to raise the money? There has to be a conscious plan. You need to break down the goal into small steps that you can achieve every day, every week, every month, until you get to your destination. Strategic planning. Skill development. Skill development. You need to identify skills that you require. You need to identify skills that you require. Maybe you're transitioning from one sector to another sector, or you are in the same company or the same office, but they are moving you from one office to another office. I know of a friend who works with an organization, and they have this rotational policy, and they can just wake up any day and move you from maybe human resources to accounting, from accounting to ICT, from ICT to public relations. They move you anywhere, anytime. Every time they move you, there are skills you require to function. Now, they might move you to an office where you don't have the relevant skills to function. But because somebody else have that skill or skills, the person is made to boss you. The person is made to, you're now made to report to that person because the person has the skills required to lead that office. You may be older, but you don't have the skills. So you need to identify skills that align with your career goals. And you need to learn those skills to put you in the position for promotion, give you that advantage you need. How can you identify the skills you require? SWOT. The skills you don't have, they fall under your weaknesses. The skills you have, they fall under your strengths. The opportunity you will take advantage of if you have those skills, they fall under opportunities. Anything stopping you from going to take that skill is a threat. Networking and relationships. So you need to network with people who support your career goal. Attend the right kind of conferences, attend the right kind of seminars, attend programs that would expose you to people who support your career goal, people who are in the same line to help you get to where you want to go. Build relationships that will offer you guidance, mentorship, and opportunities. Because you know somebody and the person knows your strengths, the person is aware of an opportunity somewhere, and the person calls you to say, so company is employing, they need somebody that can do this and that. And I mean, I know that you can do this thing very well. And where you are, the pay is not so very, this place is more than that one. The package, the benefits, everything is better. What do you think? Because they know your career goal, they know your strengths, they are able to make a case even in your absence. So it's important to network properly and build the right relationships. Personal branding. Craft your personal brand around your strengths and career aspiration. If somebody reads your bio, you should give them an idea of where you're coming from and where you're going. Communicate your value proposition in a way that it aligns with your goals. If you have on your status, I am a winner man, I'm the child of the King of Hosts, that does not tell anybody what your personal brand means. That does not tell anybody what your career aspirations are. Any opportunity you have to put your personal brand out there, it should be about your strengths and career aspirations. Your value proposition should align with the goals you're pursuing, so that when people see opportunities that align with them, they are quick to draw your attention to those opportunities. Something that is very common, or that has been very common, even though it's always annoying, it happened again today. Somebody sent me a message on Messenger, and the person's the person's message was, "Good afternoon, sir. Please, I need your help, sir. I need a job. I've been trying to get a job. and it's not been possible. Please help me with a job. That's it. I didn't respond to the message because I didn't even know where to start from. Now, for me, the issue is, why are you not putting your strengths and aspirations out there? Why are you not saying something like, good afternoon, sir. Please help me secure a job. I have experience in this. I have experience in that. Or I am interested in this area. I'm interested in that area. I want to intern here. I want to intern there. Put out your value. If you do not put it out there, not everybody has the patience to ask you questions as to, so what do you want? What kind of work are you looking for? Where do you live? How much will you take? Not everybody has that patience. So your personal brand, there are people that want to communicate with your personal brand even from a distance. And how you craft the information you put out there is what will determine the kind of people that will want to communicate with your brand. You must continuously review your progress and adjust your strategy as you go. Now, guidelines for conducting a successful SWOT analysis. Guidelines for conducting a successful SWOT analysis. I'll give us 3 minutes to type questions if we have, and after that we'll continue. So, guidelines for conducting a successful SWOT analysis. 3 minutes. Questions so far, and then we can move on. Okay, we are back. We don't have any pending questions, so we'll just proceed. I have uploaded quite a number of files that you would study after this class. Some are examples to help you plot your own SWOT. Others are templates. Again, they are all basically helping you to achieve a personal SWOT analysis. I'm looking forward to knowing how some of you fare developing your own SWOT analysis, how you're able to apply them. So we have templates for personal branding, we have templates for career enhancements, we have examples for unique value propositions. We also have examples of how to set SMART goals, how to utilize SWOT analysis for yourself, how to translate your SWOT findings into actionable goals. So back to the activity. Guidelines for conducting a successful SWOT analysis. Number one, you need to define your objective. So in the opening, I said SWOT is used for different reasons. It's used for different reasons. It's used for almost any kind of projects. So you're either using it for yourself or you're using it for your business, product, service. For businesses that want to introduce a new product into the market, they need SWOT. For, again, businesses that want to introduce a new service, a new brand, a new product, or even want to go into a collaboration, they need to do a SWOT analysis for themselves and for whoever they are collaborating with to see if they both align. Businesses that want to employ should also do SWOT analysis to help them generate the right job analysis for the position. As a business owner, when you want to employ, you do not employ people who can do what you do. There is no benefit in that. You're repeating the roles. You need to employ people who have strengths in areas that you have weaknesses. That way, you're reducing costs and you're more effective. If you are an accountant and you employ someone who is also good in accounting, what's happening to all the other roles? You employ a secretary who does not have social media skills. When there is nothing for her to do with regards to the secretary role, she will sit there and you will still pay her at the end of the month. So some businesses are now making, based on their job analysis, they now have very specific requirements. You see, we need a secretary who can type, who is social media savvy, who has basic graphic design skills. You know, they ask for these things because they are merging the roles to be more productive, to spend less and be more productive. So whatever your reason for developing a SWOT analysis, at the top of that paper, you need to write the objective first. You need to define the objective clearly, that this is the purpose why I am performing this SWOT. Whether the SWOT is for personal development, career planning, business strategy, or any other context, outline it. Now, once you understand how to do SWOT for yourself, there is little or no difference in how you use it for a business, except that this time it's not about you. Number two, gather relevant information. So collect data and information about internal and external factors that will be included in your analysis. Use sources, such as market research and all of that. Get all the information you need to populate your strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Identify your strengths. Now you have gathered information. Now from that information, you will identify your strengths. So you list all your internal strengths, consider what you excel at, what sets you apart from other people. All your good qualities are part of your strengths. Think about the skills you have, the resources you have, your unique qualities, your positive attributes. They are all part of your strengths. So you list your strengths. When you're done listing your strengths, you move to your weaknesses. So you recognize your weaknesses and you outline them. Your weaknesses, you focus on skills or attributes that you lack. So anything you do not do very well is a weakness. Anything that you do not know how to do at all, but is within your career space. Ordinarily, it is something you should know how to do, but you don't know how to do it. That is a weakness. Or you know how to do it, but you don't do it very well. It is a weakness. So on the left-hand side, just do a 2-column table first. On the left-hand side, list as many strengths as you can remember. You can always add. List as many strengths as you can remember on the left. List as many weaknesses as you can remember on the right. And then take another sheet of paper or flip over on the same sheet, create a 2-column table again, and then opportunities. So look around your environment. What are those opportunities that can benefit you? When I say environment, now that depends on whether you're in school or you're working or you're a business person. So look around the environment. What are those opportunities that can benefit you? Again, the example of AI. So you look at emerging trends, you look at how the market is shifting, you look at technology advancements, you look at potential collaborations. What are the things that if you do them or if you take advantage of them, they will benefit you? If you do them, they will benefit you. There are a lot of emerging trends now. So there are issues with boats. So you have more ride-hailing applications coming up. There are issues with so technology trends. You have AI disrupting everywhere. You now have AI in the engineering space, AI in medicine, AI in law. You have AI everywhere. What are the opportunities you see that if you take advantage of them, they will better you? Next is to analyze your threats. Identify threats that can impact your goals or plans. Anything that can prevent you from achieving your strengths is a threat. Anything that will prevent you from converting your weakness to strength is a threat. Anything that will prevent you from taking advantage of the opportunities you see is a threat. So list your threats on the left, on the right. List the opportunities on the left. Now, remember, for those that are just joining us, remember, your opportunities and threats, they are external factors. You can do little or nothing to change them. They are there. You can only take advantage of them. You can exploit them. You can mitigate. You can avoid. You can suppress, but you cannot change them. You can't wish them away. Your strengths and weaknesses are internal. Now you have the power to change those 2 factors. You have the power to improve on them or leave them the way they are. Strength, weakness, internal. Opportunity, threats, external. Number 7 is your SWOT matrix. So organize all the information you have found out now. So we have on one page, we have your strengths to the left, your weakness to the right, and then on the flip side, we have your opportunities to the left and your threats to the right. Now, organize your findings, arrange them properly, and then put it into the matrix. The matrix is a 4 quadrants. Strength to the left, weakness to the right, opportunity underneath strengths, threats underneath weaknesses. So visualize the information because it will help you to make comparison and contrast. When you see your strengths, opposite it is your weaknesses. So you're able to see what you can move from the weakness box to the strength box. And then you look at what you can move from, what you can take advantage of in the opportunity box and what you can avoid or mitigate on the threat box. It is only between the strength and weakness that you can move something, you can add or remove. But on the opportunity and threat, you cannot add or remove. You're only taking advantage of either of them. Prioritize factors. So rank the identified factors within each quadrant based on their significance and impact. To focus on the factors that are relevant, that are important to you per time. And we talked about career. So if your intention is to achieve a career goal, the strength you need to build in order to achieve that career goal is your most relevant factor. And then while you're building that strength, you will be able to recognize the opportunity in the opportunity box. But in the absence of the required strength, you would not recognize the opportunity, even if it is there staring you in the face. Analyze how your strength can help capitalize on your opportunities. These are self-explanatory. Consider how you can address your weaknesses to mitigate your threats. Strategy formulation. You need to develop strategies that would allow you to use your strength and capitalize on opportunities. So if you create the SWOT quadrants and you outline your strengths, you outline your weaknesses, you outline your opportunities and possible threats. If you look at the strengths you have and you look at the opportunities underneath, you'll be able to come up with a strategy on how to benefit from the opportunities that are emerging in your space. Even if you do not know the opportunities, for the fact that you know your strengths, you can use your strength to guess the possible opportunities in your space. You want to build a career. If you do not know your strengths, you might be building a career in a place where you have weaknesses and you struggle. Imagine someone who doesn't have the flair for acting or dancing or singing, any of those things, and the person is studying theater arts. What is the plan? How do you intend to use it? What opportunities will you take advantage of in that sector, in that space? As you go into the market, what would you do? So it is important that you're able to see where your strengths will be relevant or will be useful. And then you build a strategy on how to take advantage of whatever opportunities you're seeing. Collaborate with other people. Share ideas with other people. There are strengths you do not have and may not have enough time to learn them, depending on what it is you do. Okay, let me give an instance. So my friends, I have key friends who I do business with, and the services they provide are weaknesses for the services my company provides. And if we decide to go and acquire that strength, it will cost us time, it will cost us money, and more resources. And we have asked ourselves strategically, is that a good cost? Is that a good action to take? Considering how long it might take us to acquire equipment, learn how to do the stuff they do, and then begin to do all of that. We have looked at it and we figured that collaborating with people who already have that area as a strength and make them our implementing partners is cheaper for us. And so what we have done is go into partnership agreements with these companies who provide multimedia services. Because sometimes the services we provide our clients require us to provide multimedia services. But now we do not provide them. And the client may not want to break the responsibility and give one part to company A and give another part to company B. So we might lose out on those jobs because the client does not want to break them. But because we now have an implementing partner, a technical partner who can do those things, it now counts as strength for us. So the strength is that we have quality collaboration. So instead of going to acquire the skill as a strength, we have knocked off the weakness by getting a partner that has now made us effective in that area. So there are some skills that you may not need to go and acquire yourself. You need to collaborate with other people who provide them. This is for business people. But as an individual, growing up a career ladder, you need to acquire as much as you can. So you can seek input from colleagues who probably have that strength, or get mentors, or other people, share perspective. Tell them, show them your SWOT, or tell them about your SWOT, and then get their own opinion on the best course to take. That does not mean that that course is always right. You also need to sit down, do your own final analysis, and arrive at a decision. Number 12, stay realistic and honest. So be honest and realistic. I said this in the beginning. When conducting SWOT analysis, when evaluating your strengths and weaknesses, the best thing you should do for yourself is to be honest and realistic. Because if you're not honest, if you're not realistic, whatever you give to the analysis is what you would get. It may not be effective. So don't exaggerate things, don't underestimate things either. Say them the way they are, so that you're able to come up with an effective analysis. 13, consider long-term and short-term. Think about the immediate impacts as well as the long-term implication of each factor. If you're just joining us, we are looking at 15 steps as guidelines to creating a successful SWOT analysis. I have dropped a template on the group, and this is what you will do with those templates. 15 steps on how to create a successful SWOT analysis. Number 14, review and update your analysis regularly. The same way you would review and update your business plan, you need to review and update your analysis regularly. Regularly can be quarterly, it can be monthly, it can be once in 6 months. whatever works best for you. But conduct periodic reviews of your SWOT analysis to ensure that it is still relevant. What you quoted before should still be relevant. If not, do it again. Make sure that you're constantly updated. As your situation changes, update. What you had as a weakness before, if it is no longer a weakness, you need to update it, that it is now a strength. And since it became a strength, you have now seen new opportunities. So you need to update it. Integrate your SWOT into decision making. The whole essence of the SWOT analysis is to help you make quality decisions. It's to help you make quality decisions. If you perform a SWOT and in the end you're not able to make quality decisions out of it, it means that you didn't do it well. You need to do it again. So when you perform your SWOT and you do it realistically, the actions, goals, and plans that will emanate from there, you align them. They must align with your analysis. Your actions, your goals, and plans must align with your analysis. What SWOT has done for you, either as a career-focused person, either as someone who is trying to develop a personal brand, or someone who is trying to discover himself, what SWOT has done for you or will do for you is that it will help you differentiate your strengths from your weaknesses and the opportunities that are before you. How you can take advantage of those opportunities is where strategy comes in. But SWOT will help you recognize your strengths and your weaknesses. And once you know your strengths and weaknesses, you do not acquire any skill because everybody is acquiring it. You will acquire it because it is in line with your strengths. It is in line with your analysis. It will reduce your weaknesses. It will allow you to see more opportunities. You will not do it because everybody is doing it. For example, when people come to me and say they want to start a business, the first question I ask them is, why do you want to start a business? I want to be able to take care of myself now. I want to be making my own money. Is that why you want to start a business? You say yes. I say, no, you're not ready. Your reason is not enough motivation to start a business and run it successfully. Because you have a reason why you want to run a business, it will affect the kind of decisions you will make. It will affect the kind of inquiries you will make. It will affect the kind of research you will make. It will affect the kind of skills you want to learn. If I want to go into the POS business, I will go and learn how the POS business works. From there, I will learn how to operate the machine. I will learn all the technical phrases they use. I will learn how the money travels. So if I don't learn all of these things and I go into the POS business, I will fail. Because I'm not primed for it. I have not learned the things that I need to learn. If you do not know your SWOT and you jump into certain careers, jump into certain businesses, it could have a blowback. Because you'll be blaming everybody else except yourself. SWOT analysis gives you an advantage. It gives you leverage. It makes you recognize opportunities even before they present themselves, because you know your strengths. When you hear people say, put your best foot forward, that's what SWOT means. SWOT equips you with the knowledge of what foot to put forward. So if you follow the instructions we have been sharing for the last 2 hours, and you effectively perform your SWOT, you would see where your strength lies, where your weaknesses lie. Now, the strength you have now, are they in line with the goals that you are aspiring for? If no, you need to now build the strength that will help you pursue or achieve those goals. The kind of strength you have determines the opportunities you will see. The strength you have determines the opportunities you will see. If you're not a tech-inclined person, you will not see tech opportunities even if they are everywhere around you. If you are not a business-inclined person, even if business opportunities are everywhere around you, you will not see them, because it is not a strength for you. So any area where you have an ambition, a desire, an aspiration to go into, first things first, perform your SWOT analysis. Ask yourself, do I have the necessary strength to thrive in this place or in this thing? If no, what are the steps I need to take to acquire the skills to allow me thrive in that space? If you do that, you realize that there is SWOT in almost everything. In fact, I dare to even tell you that you can use SWOT to analyze your relationship. Yes, it's very possible, because you have strengths, you have weaknesses, there are opportunities out there, compatibility. Your partner has strengths, has weaknesses. At what point do you people blend? Imagine you are a guy, you don't know how to boil water. You are now involved with a lady who also does not know how to boil water. So not boiling water is a weakness for both of you. Well, you have two options. One, you will make sure that you have stable power, and you get electric kettle that will boil water. So assuming you cannot afford that, one of you need to learn how to boil water. That was on a lighter note anyway. So, but if you look at this scenario critically, you understand what I'm trying to say. SWOT can be applied to almost anything. To almost anything. You are in school, you're studying a course, and you're not sure where that is going. You can perform a personal SWOT. You are in school, you're studying, say, computer science, for instance, but you're not sure of what the future holds for you. You're not certain as to how you'll be able to apply this course. Just perform a SWOT. Perform a SWOT on yourself. So what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? The strengths you have, are they in line with the course you're studying? If no, can you acquire the necessary skills to make you appreciate the course? If no, do you want to swap to something else? So SWOT is like an X-ray machine. It allows you to see every angle inside out, and you're able to make a quality decision as to where you want to go from there. Questions, please. If we have questions, I'll be glad to take them now. If we have questions, I'll be glad to answer them. If we have questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Okay, we don't have any questions. This is me signing out. I want to say a very big thank you to everyone. I see my very good friends all present here. Thank you very much for making this session and spending the last 2 hours listening to me talk. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to share this time with you all. We will be having trainings like this twice every month for the next couple of months. The next could be something on business development, entrepreneurship. I'm not decided yet, but once every 2 weeks, we would have something like this. Get Advantage Consulting is a subsidiary of Planetary Solutions. And this company is in charge of HR services, capacity building, entrepreneurship trainings. For some of you who have in the past attended the Get Advantage Enterprise Development Training, that training will now be hosted by this company and not Planetary Solutions. Planetary Solutions has moved on to provide other services, and Get Advantage will be the company that provides all our training and consulting services. So thank you all very much. I would implore you all to please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Get Advantage Consulting. Just type the word there and our handle will come up. The handle is one same everywhere. Get Advantage NG, one word. Get Advantage NG is one word. Across all the platforms we have listed here, we have presence: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So please follow us. And I also would like to read your reviews about this class. If there are areas where we need to improve, please send me messages. We'd like to improve. Okay, I think, I thought that was going to be a question. Okay, I think somebody wants to ask a question. Okay, please go ahead. Oh. Michelle Tubo Ayemi, I think you were raising your hand. You have the floor, so please ask your question. Okay, so until she comes back, please, we are open to reviews. suggestions on how to improve this learning experience, that would greatly appreciate that. Again, follow me. My handles are up there. I would like to also get your feedback. You can send them privately. You can send them on social media and tag any of our accounts. That's fine. Whichever one you choose, we would appreciate them. And we look forward to seeing you in the next class. And of course, stay on the group. We would keep updating the group. We'll keep sharing. Okay, we have questions. Okay, that's good. Yeah. Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, good evening, sir. Thank you very much for the session. It was a very nice one and insightful. Okay, so the question I was wanting to ask is concerning the SWOT, that's personal brand and career. Not career per se, but when it comes to organization now, how do I balance it? Like, can I use the SWOT for my personal brand for my organization, or it has to be two different things? Like, how do I link? How do I connect the two?
Okay, that's interesting. So your personal brand, your personal SWOT is your personal SWOT, and you are a part of a company. You have performed your personal SWOT so that you understand how you can best serve in that company. So you can't use your personal SWOT to represent the entire company because you are not the company. So your SWOT is for you, but the company would have its own SWOT. In the company's SWOT, the company would have its own market competition. The company has its own market forces. The company has its own strengths. For example, its strength might be that it has good customer relationship. It is prompt to respond. Our brand is visible. All of that are strengths. Anything your company is not doing well is a weakness for your company. Anything your company is doing well is a strength for your company. Now, with the strength your company has, the company can now see opportunities to take advantage of. Another way to easily recognize opportunities is to analyze existing competition in your market. There are some people doing the same thing you do. If you analyze them, you will see that there are some areas where they are making mistakes, or there are some areas they are ignoring. You will take advantage of those areas. Now you're able to see their mistakes or their shortcomings because you have strength in that area. Now, even if you do not have strength in that area, but you have recognized that they have problems in those areas, you can now set out the process to acquire that strength so that you can take advantage of the opportunity you're seeing. Your own personal SWOT only shows how you contribute in the company. And if you want to employ somebody tomorrow, even if you don't know the person, you can do a dummy SWOT to say, for example, you want to employ a manager to take over the company while you are doing something else, even though you're still a part of the company. And in the SWOT, you're saying that you want to be able to have a manager who can do A, B, or C. You're looking at a manager who can cover areas that you are not doing well or areas that you think that is a weakness for you. Recently, this musician they call Kiss Daniel, he used to belong to a record label before he moved on to open his own record label. And recently, he has gone to partner with his former boss in the record label he used to be signed under. He brought the record label boss to come and be the MD of his own record label. And his reason is that MD knows how to bring the best out of him. And he wants to be able to concentrate on the music and let somebody concentrate on the business part of the music. And so he has brought in somebody to manage the business part of the music while he just does the music. That is a very smart decision. So he must have done his own SWOT analysis and knows his weaknesses. And now he's employing somebody who has strengths in the area where he has weakness. And he has given the person the permission to go ahead and make things better. I hope I've answered your question.
Sir.
All right, thank you. Any other question? Pastor Paul, your hand was up. So you can speak now. You can unmute yourself. Yes, any other question? Okay, in the absence of any other question, I want to bid everybody good night. Thank you once again for the time. And again, if you have questions after now, please feel free to send it privately or drop it on the platform. We would answer it to the benefit of everybody else. And learning continues. I'm sure that as we take the rest of the week to work on our SWOTs, questions would come, areas where you require some assistance would come. Please feel free to drop those questions on the platform or send them privately, and we will help to see that everybody gets it. Thank you very much. Good night, and God bless.